There you go, perfect timing.
Hello and welcome back everybody for part 2 of this week's Geek Initiative. So, before the break, and in case there's anybody new in the chat, there was a fight with a werebear that was familiar to the party. A woman's corpse found hidden in a cellar, and a child, slightly creepily, asking when the voices would stop.
Whilst hugging.
Rhi-Koo. So,
Go for the neck.
what would you like to do? Given that a child has just creepily said, when will the voices stop to you?
Well, I'll pull him back and then maybe sit him onto the bed, and then I'll look at his eyes.
Normal?
Normal.
I thought you were going to say you're going to put him on the bed and look at him and then stab him.
Yeah, I'll ask it. How often do the voices talk to you?
Whenever I'm in the garden, but lately they've been louder, so I can hear them from here too.
And what do they ask you?
They tell me to learn things.
To learn words?
Yeah.
Yes.
Words. They want words.
Yes, they've asked that of me as well.
I could tell.
Tell. How long has it been going on for?
As long as I can remember. Been getting louder. Louder and louder. Every day.
And your mum, had she complained about it?
They said that she was too strong. I was weak. They liked that.
I don't think weak, I think young. They may have been preying on your age rather than your strength.
Maybe. They weren't very good with words to start with.
Mm-hmm.
They're my friends.
You like them?
They're nice to me sometimes.
What do they do for you? Keep you company?
Someone to talk to. Monsters aren't scary. Not anymore. They're scary.
Who's scarier?
Them.
The voices?
I don't have to be scared of monsters because the voices want to protect me.
Are you talking to them now?
They're asking me why I'm telling you.
Are they getting angry because of it?
They just don't understand. You've been nice to me too.
Mm-hmm.
And you must be friends with them too, because I can see them in your mind. I can feel them. They've been there.
Yes, they have talked to me. You can sense when they've talked with people.
I think so.
What does it look like?
It doesn't look... It's less like seeing.
More like feeling.
I can look at your mind in my brain. And because you're scared, you're worried. You think that they control me, but they don't. They just talk to me. They don't control me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm important to them. I don't know why. Your friends are downstairs. They're worried.
Do you know
At which point he kind of flinches and is like and starts crying again. My mum's dead. And seems to revert back to the child that you had met before.
So is he
Crying again.
Yeah.
Lunges in for help.
Okay. I'll have one arm around and then I'll have a look around, see if there's any teddy bears or anything else to comfort him.
There is a teddy bear that looks like a stuffed cat.
Gingerly.
It's black.
Yeah, gingerly.
Reach it.
Yeah, reach out for that cat.
It's a cat.
Make a dex.
Not a real cat.
Yeah, I'll just.
It's very much stuffed cat.
Crush its head just.
Yeah, no, it's a stuffed cat.
Yeah, I'll pick it up and try and give the cat to him.
Like clutches onto it, and he is appears to be calmed by it, and he kind of goes, "Can I show you a secret?"
Yes. Do you want me to keep it a secret?
Yeah.
Okay.
He seems a little bit excited by it, but also he's still got tears fresh on his face. It seems like he is affected more by those around him than by his own mind. He's very receptive.
Seeing all the tears, I'll use my tunic and maybe try and wipe his face.
And he puts his hands to the back of his head and lifts what looks like a hat almost, but it seems to blend into his head. Lifts it off, and you can see that his head is kind of almost scooped out, and you can see this nebulous energy flowing out the back of his head. It looks like the roiling clouds from outside.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably stand there for.
I'll get a picture because I cannot describe this accurately.
But yeah.
It seems almost like a storm contained within a cavity where his brain would have been.
Okay. Is it like the skull has been depressed or taken out?
It looks like it's hollow and the top layer has been taken off.
And this hairpiece he just took off, does it have paws?
No. It's once he pulls at it, it disappears in his hands. It seems to have been illusion. One second. As he does this, his eyes seem to glow the same colour. Almost like this is just a mask through which this energy is. But I will send you the image now. How best to do that? Mr. Harry in the booth, can I send you an image?
Yep.
Where am I best likely to send that so that the viewers may see this? I should have prepped this in advance, but I hadn't planned this far ahead.
Ooh, good question. Yeah. I'm not sure. Are you able to put it on drive from there, or do you not?
Not from this laptop, no.
Send it to WhatsApp. I can get it from.
I'll try it on my phone. Pause for brief technical difficulties.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, so talk amongst yourselves.
So, in the meantime,
The boy with a
she's got no
galaxy in
head
his head.
or brain. Potentially the boy is upstairs with Rhi-Koo. Think I can just about hear Rhi-Koo talking to him. So, don't think Rhi-Koo's in danger right this minute. This is weird. Now, if we investigate carefully, I reckon we can make sandwiches.
Out of what?
And a nice pot of tea. Everyone who's civilised has a pot of tea.
There you go, Harry.
Cool.
So Magnus is now going to look around the kitchen.
While this is going on, what do I notice in the process of going toward the bar?
Yes, we
Oh,
will
yeah.
resolve that.
I forgot about a bit.
So you heading towards the barn, you can see that the barn door is slightly ajar, but it's probably not abnormal. You can't hear any movement from within.
I'm going to go and look inside anyway, just to be safe.
Roll a perception check.
Okay.
22.
22. So with a 22, you are aware that there is nothing. You can't hear any movement in the barn, and there doesn't appear to be anything in the barn that you can see. From looking inside, it seems almost not abandoned, but like someone has done their day's work and then put away the tools. It is, like nothing abnormal.
Except for a cat brain.
This is just from looking inside.
That's from looking inside. That if you wanted to walk further in and use the same roll, you would find the same. There is nothing to be seen.
I'll head back, going towards a back way potentially into the house instead, and have a look all around side.
Again, nothing much to find. No, it appears that there is a cellar door on the back of the house that leads down, but it doesn't look like it's open. It looks to be that it's locked.
Not from the outside.
Okay, I've got that image ready if you want to throw that.
So, preview of the vague idea. This piece of art is a tiefling who is affected by the same thing, but it is
Beautiful tiefling.
instead this is a young boy, no horns, and it seems to be a smaller, nebulous energy that is kind of purple and red and grey.
And it's flowing out.
It's flowing out like that, but not nearly as far. It seems to be smaller, weaker.
Well,
Perfect for kidding.
Salad, I'm going to try and break the lock.
Okay. Roll for a strength check.
16.
Okay. That is unfortunately a fail. You have damaged it, but it's not broken. So, after doing that, you hear movement within. Those who are at the downstairs, at the cellar door, can I have a perception check, please?
I certainly perceive nothing.
21.
So you hear a massive, metal on metal crash, followed by a skitter.
Oh no.
From where I am, can I see out the window and would I see him?
You can see him now.
You hear that too? You want me to stay here, Magnus, and cover it so it can't get out this way potentially?
I can't hear you.
There is a window between them.
One second, they're just for using the snap fingers, unseen servant. You can't see anything, you'll just suddenly hear right directly behind your ear, Greg. He says you want him to stay there in case it tries to escape. And this is almost like something's floating over your shoulder as it says it. You can't see me, I'm invisible.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Let's stay down there. So, how much oil have we got?
How much?
Oil.
I don't have oil.
Oil, tinderbox, that'll deal with the problem without us getting hurt.
Yes, but it was also burned down the house, you idiots.
And it's not like anyone's going to be living here anymore. I mean, the boy is not exactly going to be going, right, I'll go out and sort the fields now.
Can I?
It's really weird
Check
talking to
and see
Michelle.
if I've
So-
got any oil.
Back upstairs. The boy goes. Kind of goes.
Can I, whilst we were talking before, could I have asked his name and obviously given mine?
So he introduced himself as Bob.
That was always going to happen.
That was indeed destined.
Because of that, it's no longer Bob.
Sorry.
Dave.
I have no oil.
George. What's his name?
Middle East is not
I'm not
Georgie.
looking like a pink hippo.
No, just George.
Okay. So he's taken off his head hat.
So he kind of, it was an illusion, and he kind of goes, he looks at you and goes, anyway, and then kind of seems like he's smoothing, and then as he does it, the illusion reappears.
Yeah, just sort of standing there for at least 10-20 seconds, sort of gobsmacked. Okay, that's a new one. How long have you been like that?
As long as I can remember, really. My mum doesn't know. Didn't know.
Sorry, I'm not there. I'm not where you are.
And he kind of looks aside and goes, I think they did this to me. I think they wanted to change me.
Do you know the reason why?
No,
Did you want it to happen to you?
no.
Do you want it gone? Or does it help you?
I don't know what it would be like to be different. I can hear everyone.
Yeah, everyone. Have you been to town? Or have you always just been?
Last time I went to town, it hurt a lot. It hurt like that noise did.
It hurt a lot.
Did you just drop the child again?
Was it because you could hear everybody's voices?
Everyone. So loud. So many.
Okay. Do you have any other relatives around that we could take you to? Any family friends?
In the city. My grandparents, they live in the city.
And what are their names?
Bob and Sheila.
I don't know.
Bruce.
You don't know.
Just
Do you know your mum's full name?
Jolie. I don't.
And your last name?
Unironically, I had got Smith written down, but now it feels like a cop-out, so... But yeah.
Smith.
Smythe then.
Yeah, sure, Smythe. Spelled Smith.
Yeah.
Do apologise for the people being beaten up upstairs.
So,
That's what it sounds like. It is.
Jolene Smythe is your mum. Yeah.
I am writing it down. Smythe. We are changing because
I know a song about her.
Jolie.
So I don't know if you answered if there was any family friends or anybody.
The next farm over, he's nice to us. Can't remember his name.
Would you maybe want to stay there at least for a day or two until I can grab your grandparents.
They're nice, yes. This way. And he just kind of starts walking.
While this is going on, I'm going to get my unseen servant to go into the cellar because it will be able to open the. So all Magnus should see in front of him is basically the trapdoor opening and then shutting, and he's going to go inside and have a look around.
Okay.
Relay.
You can see through it, can't you?
Yes, I can see through it and it can communicate to me and stuff.
So whilst it's down there, it's a dark cellar. There's no light. It appears to be that they store like salted meats and things like that in down here to keep them cool.
Pantry.
It's basically a pantry. And it seems like there's movement in one of the corners. Can you roll a perception check on its behalf, I suppose?
It did.
What do you get?
That was a 5.
There's a rat running across the floor.
Just going to go back up. And then just kind of whisper in Magnus' ears. It's just a rat. Not a cat.
What colour eyes was the rat?
He didn't see that detail.
You didn't check.
That's that black eyes anyway.
I mean, you can go do it. You can go down and check if you wish.
You shouldn't base it on how many hit points I've got left, should I?
No. What would your character do?
Right.
What would he do knowing that he's injured?
He'd probably still go and jump in there.
Cool. As you go to
I'm going to body search the mummy.
As you're slowly going down, you'll just hear right in your ears. The servant's like being a bit of a twat to you. As like just to check.
It's definitely the servant. You know it's not coming from in front of you.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
So as you get down there, you are
Pop the goggles up.
you can see with your dark vision that there doesn't appear to be a cat nor a space for one to hide down here. The shelves are sparse, but in one of the corners there appears to be a small hole from which a rat has just emerged.
Hello, rat.
At which point it, when it hears you, scampers back into the hole.
Suspicious.
Check out the owl.
Yeah. I'll go and have a closer look at the owl with a saber ready.
As you're looking at the hole, you can hear what sounds like little scratchings, just little inside.
Hey, kitty, 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 kitty.
It was inevitable. I wanted to last a little longer until we got one of those, but
Sounded just so creepy.
Don't know what you mean.
the scratching stops, and then after another 10 seconds of silence, it resumes again.
Yeah, kitty, kitty, kitty.
You hit something.
Does the scratching stop?
Yes.
Is my blade covered in something?
It's covered in red, yes, and also half a rat.
Save that one for dinner.
The Magnus experience.
And I'll search around more.
There doesn't appear to be any more scratching.
Potentially pocket some of the food. You know, spice up the rat a bit. Rat burger. Good bit of crunch. And while I'm down here, assuming that her body has now dropped right to the floor, I'm going to examine the brain area. Does it look like what we saw when the brain thing left Anna?
Yes.
It was definitely in here. Her brain, that is. Can't see it around here, though. Nothing to see.
Could it have squeezed through the rat hole?
Yes, is the answer.
Yeah, probably.
And if you've got anything to dig with,
Can I have a nature check?
you can,
11. Pretty poor.
but 13.
You're aware that this tunnel could go for hundreds of meters.
Yeah.
There is no way to know.
And it doesn't have to stay as narrow as a rat's width.
No. It also could go in any direction. But it could go in multiple directions. It could be that this is a little rat's nest.
What are the walls made of?
Down here, stone mostly, but the little corner, it seems to have chewed through the wooden beam that supports the corner.
So, if I were to take out my crowbar, I could potentially free up a couple of more rocks around there so that...
And risk instability, yes.
Well, I'm kind of thinking, if it's like that, if nothing's... If it's chewed through the beam's not holding it, it's the rest of the wall. But I'm thinking if I just take a couple out of the bottom, the wall should stay stable. But hopefully I can just open it enough to look and actually see rather than just see a hole. I can see
That'd
the
be a
tunnel.
strength
And then
check.
hilarity of turns into werebear.
That's easier.
This will be a disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Strength check -1 with
Magnus is about to bury
disadvantage.
himself alive.
That'll be 9 then.
You get one of the bricks out, and another one falls away. As you're looking through, you can see that the tunnel is very narrow. It seems to be just as narrow as a rat or a small cat's width.
I'm going to look around at the foods that are in here. Is there any fish? Is there anything that would be a bit stinky, like sort of smoked fish or something?
Not
like
really.
that? It's kind of wafting. Hey, kitty.
So at this time, upstairs on the ground floor, you can hear. So the child comes downstairs, and you hear Rook
To
go.
the basement.
No, to the ground floor, and you can hear Rook go. Oh, hello. Who are you? And the little boy goes, I'm George. Come with me, please.
George.
You were invited
just
to possession.
Is it just Rook?
There are Dusk is there, Rook's there.
And then
You're following him.
Yeah.
My servant's there, so I'll
Yeah.
see it through.
And you're outside, so
Through seeing it through my servant, can I do an insight as to whether or not I would feel that I could trust this child with the way they're speaking based on previous. So an insight through like me doing it through.
it's fine.
15.
Insight by proxy.
It's not lying. Like the child isn't lying to you. It's just that it seems distracted.
Okay, based on that, if and when it leads them somewhere, I'm going to keep my distance.
At which point Rook goes, in your voice, Magnus, he goes, Magnus! Time to go upstairs! Because most of the time he hears your own people introduce themselves.
Fair enough. Start going up the stairs, and as I start going up the stairs, see you later.
Time to go, time to go!
And then I'll pause and look back. Did she have any valuables on her?
Doesn't look right.
And carry on up.
Okay. So, the little boy says, thank you for helping me to everyone.
Could you tell me something, little boy?
My name's George.
I'm Magnus.
Hello, Magnus.
Nice to meet you. You're almost as tall as me.
Probably is about the same height as you.
Have you ever seen a black cat brain running around?
They look more like brains than cats. They've just got cat paws.
Yeah.
Okay. A black brain with cat paws.
He goes, I haven't seen one myself.
Do you know where any are there?
No.
Okay. We're collecting them, see.
A strange thing to collect. I like stamps.
We're quite strange to
At which point he sets about leading you to the neighbouring farm. It is the opposite diagonal from which you three approached. So following the edge round.
So hopefully going to the point at which we meant to go to.
Yes. After about, because there's not really a path, he's kind of leading you through the path of least resistance along the terrain. And after about an hour walking, it's quite a slow walk, he's only a little. He gets you to what looks like, it doesn't look like a farm, it looks more like a windmill that's got, so it is a windmill that it appears that the blades have fallen off. Wait a second first. Yeah, so the blades have fallen off and it appears to be out of use. And you can see the need for a perception check in your future. Roll a perception check.
As we were walking up, I've asked of George, you know, who we're going to, how many people are meant to be there. And
Just one.
Just one.
I can't remember his name. But he's really nice.
Bob.
Human. Do you know how old?
Old man.
An old man or that old man?
Old man. Old.
Okay.
Are you that old?
Too old.
To an 8-year-old.
I'm like behind you, so you wouldn't be able to spot me.
Well, no, you were still with us, but just away.
The
point is that
where the child hadn't seen me trying to keep out of the child's sight based on looking at you, so I'll be kind of behind trying to keep the distance in case something, because to me something's not feeling right about this child.
How insightful.
So, upon arriving at the windmill proper, what were the perception checks?
16 for me.
10. 10 for me.
12.
Okay. 13 or more. You notice that there appears to be one of the weird brain things just sat right at the edge next to the windmill. Just sat there, looking out.
How far away from, because I probably would have been a bit further back from them now, so how far would I be from it?
So they're 30 feet. They're at the top of like a sort of a ridge that leads down into a basin where this windmill is. And you would be beyond the ridge, so you can't quite see it yet, but once you get to the top of the ridge, you'll be able to.
Cool. I will, in regards to that, hand on Mercury with the intent that if that goes hostile towards them, Eldritch Slash.
Okay. So once you get to the top of the ridge, you'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
So he goes, old man's not here. I can normally hear him.
Can you hear that thing?
Yes. Sounds sort of like the old man.
The thing with the brain.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry, the brain with the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of like to say to you two, I think being near the edge, he's been able to read people's minds. So
it seems to amplify whatever you've got, this edge.
he has said it has talked to him, and so whether or not the entity has given him these abilities or not, we don't know.
He starts to walk down the ridge
Okay.
towards the.
I'll quickly step up and walk beside him.
He gets down to just in front of it, and like.
Can I stop him like 10 feet before I'm just going?
Yeah.
Just
He kind of like wriggles and then like kind of accepts it and stops. He goes, trying to hear him better. He sounds far away.
I think these are dangerous. I don't want you getting hurt. If you just try and hear him from here.
He nods. Okay. Can I have a perception check for everybody, please?
It's a 6 from me.
Okay.
It's a 22.
15.
Also 15.
So, luckily for you two, 15 or higher, you are aware, as you're looking, you can see what looks like. So the edge is kind of almost a wall. So there's the edge of the island that you're on, that is the drop away that you can look down over. But a little further out, 10 feet further out, there's the barrier that is excluding everything. And you can hit, or including in this case, you can see tendrils, small little tendrils of the black cloud with the red lightning throughout it, seeming to just push in a little bit. Seems to break through the barrier a little bit, just a little tendril, and then gets cut off and turns to wisps and dissipate. And then as you're looking, it seems like all of the small tendrils try in one location, and it almost drills through and reaches in. It looks like a hand made of these clouds. It reaches down and kind of swirls around the creature sat near the edge.
So that's when I would be able to see that.
Yes, that's one.
And go, oh, Jesus Christ.
At which you can kind of see the brain almost twitching, and it starts to float, and then seems to. It almost comically, its paws grow massive, and then the brain catches up. It appears to have grown to about 10 times the size.
Okay. Seeing that, I'll pick up the kid and start running for the hill.
So with it landing as it's got bigger, that's when I probably release.
Okay. When you do, it flies towards it and it seems to impact something and then stop. Just as it would hit it, stops and then dissipates. At which point the tendrils kind of retract, and then as they come back, you see. Everyone sees this. There's not even a check. It is almost like the bubble that you are in shrinks. It jolts closer by about a foot, and then the brain kind of goes and lands, turns around, and it kind of looks like you can see 2 little eyes poking out of the brain matter. And it kind of is looking around, trying to find, like, it doesn't have a head, but it's like turning the front of its body with its legs to try and see targets it wants to kill. I believe that makes it time for our second break. So, we will be rolling for initiative upon our return. But thank you very much for joining us for part 2. We'll be back very shortly.